everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am filming my last TBR for the year. I cannot believe, number one, that it is once again December and that 2021 is almost over. And number two, how many books I still wanted to read this year, but also how many amazing books I got to read this year. So this next month of videos is going to be a combination of some reflecting back on some of the things that I read this year and some looking forward to 2021. But there will be a lot of those types of kind of roundup videos or favorite videos or those types of things, which are always some of the things that I really enjoy. So I think that December is going to be a fun month for filming and hopefully a fun month for watching as well. But we will kick it off with this month's TBR. So I have made a very short TBR for this month because I want to allow myself some flexibility to read what I want. My birthday is also in December. So between my birthday and Christmas, I usually end up getting a lot of books, and then there are some that I'm really excited to read. Like I get them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to read that right away. So I end up doing a fair bit of reading at the end of December, but it's a relaxed type of reading where I get a certain book and I really want to read it, and so I just do so, and I enjoy that. So I have given myself a lighter TBR for the month, and I'm hoping that I'm going to read a lot of these kind of prescribed books at the beginning of the month, leaving the end of the month a little more free to make my own decisions. I'm going to go through the buddy reads that I have set up first so that if you are interested in reading any of these, you can take note or make note of them, and we would be happy to have you come into Discord and discuss them with us. So buddy reads first, then I'll talk about a couple books and then maybe some books that I'm thinking I might be in the mood to read in December. So these are my kind of like locked in books that I will most definitely be reading. And the first one is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. So I read Mistborn in November and really enjoyed it. I am intrigued about Well of Ascension because I have heard some wildly different opinions on it. Some people have come in to say that's my favorite of the three books. It's amazing. Some other people have come in and said, oh, it's so boring. Books 1 and 3 are so much better. And obviously there's been every type of opinion in between, but I did a full review of Mistborn, and that review also just included some of my thoughts on Brandon Sanderson as a writer and some of the things that I really enjoy that he does and some of the things that are really not for me. So if you're interested in my opinion overall on Brandon Sanderson, then definitely check out that Mistborn review. But I enjoyed it enough to want to continue with the series, and so I will be reading Well of Ascension starting at the beginning of the month. So I'll be reading Well of Ascension starting on the first day of the month. So if you also read Mistborn, if you want to go back and reread Well of Ascension, or if you just want to jump in for the conversation, that will be happening very early in December. So looking forward to see what happens in Vin's journey moving forward. The other book, so I'm also starting this one at the beginning of the month because I am buddy reading it with my friend Baron from Your Brain on Books, which is a great channel. If you haven't checked it out, you really should do so. But he is at the exact same place in his realm of the Elderling's journey as I am. And he has a very hefty TBR this month, so I told him we could start this book on the 1st as well. And that is Ship of Magic. Yes, finally, after everybody encouraging me to read this and saying that it doesn't matter that Fitz isn't in it, it's still Robin Hobb, it's still an amazing book, and also it will bring you back to Fitz eventually when you get through the trilogy. All these things are true, and I have finally put Ship of Magic on my TBR. I am really looking forward to this. I have talked about the reasons I haven't started it ad nauseum. I love Fitz, Fitz isn't in it, I don't like boats, I've been a little bit nervous, etc., etc. But I trust Robin Hobb. I trust her writing. People have told me that there are some incredibly nuanced and complex characters in this series, some villains that I am really going to love to hate, some people who are going to make me feel very conflicted, some amazing character arcs, and all of that sounds wonderful. So the plan is to read Ship of Magic this month, and then I guess I will see, depending on how I feel about it, or am I going to do them like month? Am I going to do them back to back? I'm not sure, but Ship of Magic in December for sure. Looking forward to it. And then another buddy read, another group buddy read is the buddy read of the Long Price Quartet. So in November, I read A Shadow in Summer. And I will talk about that a little bit more in my November wrap up. And I'm just going to say that I enjoyed it. I'm going to have more thoughts to post, but I did enjoy it. And the second book is called A Betrayal in Winter, and it's even a little bit shorter. These books are very short, actually. The first one, I think, was 270 pages, and I believe book 2 is only like 240 pages. So even though they're kind of slower paced fantasy, they're very short, so it still doesn't take a long time to get through them. And all the people that I know who have read this series says that it just improves, it just gets better, it builds on itself over time. So I am very, very much looking forward to reading book 2. The buddy read that I am taking part in is doing these a month at a time. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I may have to read them a little closer together, but I will try to stick to the 1 month at a time schedule. I can't make any promises. I'll still do the conversations once a month, but this one I am waiting until December to get into it. So I'm going to read book 2 in December, and we'll see where I go with the rest of them from there. The last buddy read was kind of an impromptu buddy read that we threw together on the Discord server, which is 100% the fault of Alan at the Library of Alexandria. So Alan did a very enthusiastic review of the novella Elder Race by Adrian Tchaikovsky, which apparently is a blend of fantasy and science fiction. And when Alan was describing what he really enjoyed about it, which included some things about anthropology and language and the use of language and a realistic and enjoyable portrayal of the miscommunication trope, it reminded me a lot of Children of Time, which we read on the channel and I really enjoyed. And because this was a novella, it was pretty cheap to pick up on, ebook, sorry. So it was for sale on the Kindle store for like not a whole lot of money. So I felt like even though I am technically trying to not purchase any books before my birthday / Christmas, I didn't mind picking up this novella just on Kindle. And there were a bunch of us who were in the Discord server and we were like, man, Alan made this sound really appealing. We really liked Children of Time when we just read it. So I think there's a group of like 6 or 7 of us that are going to read this novella in December. So if you also watched Alan's video and you're really excited to pick this up, then come into the Discord server and discuss it with us. If you haven't watched Alan's review of this, then go do so immediately because it is amazing. Alan can sell you on a book like no one else. He makes me want to pick up books that I don't even think I would like. If I just read the description, I'd be like, oh, that's not for me. But as soon as Alan talks about it, I'm like, yeah, I do want to read that actually immediately. So that's what happened here with Elder Race, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I also have a couple of books that are officially on the TBR that I don't have in physical form. The first is going to be my first audiobook of the month for December, and that is The Hogfather. So I'm going to continue with my Terry Pratchett reads with the Death Discworld books. This is book 4 in the Death series. So many people I have heard say that this is their favorite of the Death books. It is about Hogswatch, which is the Discworld equivalent of the Christmas holidays or Yuletide. And from what I understand, there are some complications with the Hogfather, which is the Santa Claus, and Death may have to step in. So I'm really looking forward to this. I have listened to one of the other Discworld books on audio, and I really like the narrator. I don't remember his name, but I didn't get this one from the library, and I don't have a copy, so I think I'm going to do this one by audio, and I'm really looking forward to it. I have saved this for the holiday time because I wanted it to be kind of thematically appropriate. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it will help get me into the holiday spirit, and I'm hoping to love it. I absolutely adored Soul Music, which was book 3, so I'm really hoping that I'm going to enjoy book 4 just as much. And then the last official read for kind of the official TBR is another buddy read, actually. So I probably should have mentioned it before The Hogfather. But that is The Bear and the Nightingale by, I think it's Catherine Arden. And this I am reading with a huge group of people, but the person who organized it all is Evie. So Evie loves this book series, and I will link her channel below as well. She is a very thoughtful reader. She loves atmospheric books. She loves beautiful prose, gorgeous writing. She's a lover of the classics. So I'm expecting a really beautiful, lyrical wintertime novel with this trilogy. I've heard lots of great things about it. It always pops up on those fairy tale retelling lists and those atmospheric reads lists, and I like those kinds of books. So I feel confident that I'm going to like this trilogy, but I am especially excited to be able to discuss it with Evie and the other people who are within our buddy read group. So those are all of my official books on my December TBR. Some of them are kind of chunky, so it's not like it's an incredibly tiny TBR, but usually I put like between 10 and 12 books on these, and I just wanted to give myself some flexibility, especially since almost all of these books are buddy reads, so I have to read all of them. A couple of books that I've been kind of tossing around or that are at the top of my like internal TBR right now, I'll probably throw a Dresden book in there. I am really enjoying my read through of the Dresden Files. With each book, I progressively get more and more invested in the series, and it's getting harder to stretch out the time between those. So I imagine that I'm going to start reading them much more quickly, much, closer together. I'm also debating continuing on with Juliette Marillier's Seven Waters trilogy in December. Red Country by Joe Abercrombie. I read The Heroes in November, so I may continue on with that series. If I am really excited at the end of Well of Ascension, I may just jump right into The Hero of Ages. And finishing up that trilogy will open my schedule up to begin the Stormlight Archive in 2022. So wrapping up some series would be of high priority, potentially fitting in some books that I had on previous TBRs that I didn't get to. Is there anything that you think that I should be reading in December that I haven't gotten to yet? Because I am definitely open to suggestions. I am looking forward to this reading month. December is a very busy time for everyone, but we have a lot of birthdays kind of on top of everything else that happens in December. So it's always a busy month, but a happy month usually. And I'm really looking forward to it. I have some great books lined up. I'm leaving myself a little bit of flexibility, and I can't wait to hear what everybody else is reading too. So please let me know what you are planning to read in December. Is this a good reading month for you in general? Or is it one where you are really busy and you don't tend to get as much reading done? Would love to know, and I will see you with another video soon. Bye!